Hello, I'm Johnny Rowland, your host of The Shooting Show, and welcome to today's program, friends. You know, we're going to start off the show today with one of the great little feather 22s. These things only weigh 3 pounds without the scope. Just amazing little guns. We're going to show you more about them in a few moments. But here we are. You know, it's just entering the fall time of year here, and we've got our pear tree, and it's an old and very prolific pear tree. In fact, it's it makes more pears than it can carry. So we're going to do a little thinning here today. We do this every year. We sort of thin our pear tree. This is another great use for having a 22 semi-automatic rifle. So let's see, there's a nice clump of them right there that we need to sort of take some out. And friends, now you see how much lighter that tree limb is there now, and I really don't care if that wasp is disturbed. Let's go for 1 or 2 more. And remember, always be sure of your backstop when you're shooting a 22 rifle in the air. These things can go a long way. We know where the bullet's going to fall. But let's see what it looks like. Yes, indeed. See what a good service we're doing for the tree. Now, friends, let me tell you what. Shooting those pears is a lot of fun because of reactive targets and 100% biodegradable. We're very, very pleased to be with you this week because every program that we do is so important for all of us as gun owners, all of us as shooters. Son, are you hot? I'll tell you, if you can see, later on we got some tape footage. My shirt is drenched. Yes, it's warm down here. This is Louisiana. Yes, it is September. It's still it's still hot. It's still very muggy. And Piper, I'm glad that you're here too, boy. I think everyone can hear just in fact how hot you are. Anyway, you see, friends, we got to have a little levity. We can't be morbid doom gloom all the time. We got to have some fun. And being out shooting is, or going out shooting is, so much fun. We appreciate you being there with us. You know, right now we're facing this week, I don't know what the outcome's going to be, but we're facing a bill in Congress, House Bill 4205. And what they did, the anti-gunners literally buried some anti-gun legislation in a defense spending bill. And you see, some of these bills literally are thousands of pages long, and the congressmen and congresswomen, they don't bother to read these things. They don't actually know what's in a lot of these bills because they don't bother to read them. Some staff member will scan it, or somebody from the party will say, well, yeah, go ahead and pass it. Well, in this particular bill, House Bill 4205, there's a provision that will let the federal government recall, reclaim, and destroy anything that's ever been sold as military surplus, which would get all the 1903 Springfield rifles, would get all the M1 Garands, would get the 1911s that were sold off from the military, it would get the M1 carbines, get ammunition, get Jeeps, get all the old warbirds, the airplanes, the World War II aircraft. It would get all that and destroy it. So with another stroke of the pen, the federal government is going about disarming us again. So we're hopeful this can be stopped. We appreciate everyone who called. And friends, it is so crucial. We're facing an onslaught against us as gun owners as we have never faced in our country's history. You know, even when the war of federal aggression, when Abraham Lincoln, at the end of the war, he didn't say, look, go disarm them. Even then, Lincoln didn't say, go disarm the people in the South. He didn't do that. Because at least he didn't want an empire that would enslave us. At least then. And of course, now today we have the UN Millennium Assembly that wants to disarm every civilian worldwide and just have the United Nations Army. So there can never be another just war fought. Do you think we have evolved as people where we're better now when more people have been killed in this century than at any time in human history? Even the last few years, 800,000 Tutsis killed by their Hutu brethren. What about 800,000 Tibetans killed by the communist Chinese? Hundreds of thousands of Christians in Malaya or in Indonesia? What in the world, friends? And we're going to give up our sovereignty at a time like this, one of the most dangerous times for free people. No. The most dangerous time for free people in human history. We're not going to do it. And you know what we have to do? We've got to reach more people on TV, friends. We've got to reach more people with our position on these guns, on shooting, and our rights as American citizens. Not privileges, but rights. It's not the bill of needs or the bill of privileges. It's the bill of rights. Will you stand with us? Will you help us stay on the air? Will you help us get our uplink running? Will you help us form our network so we can go on to reach Americans all over this country? Because, friends, let me tell you what. We don't know how much time we have left as free citizens. Nobody wants to see what many of us are afraid this is going to boil down to. We're hoping to avert this by reaching more Americans. Will you please help us? You can send anything you can afford, anything you can send to the shooting show, 327 Irvin Rowland Road in Dubberly, Louisiana. The zip code is 71024. Friends, this is not a joke. This is not the rehearsal. This is the main event. We're here now. Will you help us make the difference that we all can make? We've got to reach more people on TV. We've got to do it. We do have a great show for you today. We're going to be looking at the Little Feather 22 carbines. A great show for you. But something, you know, we always wear shooting glasses. You know, there's never a time on the range that you'll see me without shooting glasses. When we go to an event somewhere, everyone that's shooting a gun must be wearing shooting glasses. Let me show you something. Friends, what we're looking at here is a fired 22 long rifle rimfire casing here. But something's wrong with this casing, and there it is. It had a case failure when it fired. You see, that hole shouldn't be there. It was a blowout. This is from one of the largest manufacturers in the world of 22 long rifle ammunition. Now then, it happens on other cartridge cases as well. This was a brand new, one of the largest companies in the world, brand new cartridge casing, 44 Magnum, blew out the first time it was ever fired, blew out in my revolver, and it can happen. This is why when we're shooting on the range, we don't only want to protect ourselves from ricochets, we also want to protect us from the event that we could have a possible case failure. So we wear our shooting glasses every time we're on the range.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station.
The new catalog is out, and it is exciting. Let's take a closer look. Friends, looking inside, we of course see these great bargains at quantities of ammunition, and yes, we see the shooting show. We also see our pistol kits on sale, and we're up to 3 loads now for the 460 Rowland. So all kinds of great ammunition here in this Georgia Arms. In fact, here we are, yes indeed. Many other calibers available though. 45 auto rim, you don't see that everywhere. I tell you what, 41 Magnum, 454 Casull, they will even sell you components for your loading bench. Just a terrific company. Remember, friends, they have been supporting our project for all these years, and we really appreciate their participation. You can call Georgia Arms at 1-800-624-6861. Get a free catalog. Friends, what we're looking at here are several of the Feather 22 long rifle semi-automatic carbines here, and this is how it comes. And we'll show you something. We have several variations, one of which, see the difference in the anodizing, say on this receiver versus this one over here. You can get them in different patterns. This is a very high-grade, high-strength aircraft type aluminum receiver, and it has a number of polymer parts, and of course we know polymer works very well, if the Glock is any indication of how well they hold up. But we have an optional barrel shroud on this particular gun that is not on this one, and see the different patterns, and of course it is a takedown system. And here's how it comes. The barrel here wrapped, of course, in place with Velcro. 20-round magazines are available for these little guns, and here's how it's stowed with the stock here in the front, and of course when we take it out of the case we'll insert the stock from the rear. So let's talk about these feather guns some. I think you're going to find them most interesting. We've taken the parts out of the case here, and I'll show you just how easy these little guns are. First of all, we'll take our stock out, just pull it forward, and we'll go ahead, and we have a little detent right here we're going to press. Here is our barrel retaining nut right here. And remember, we have a scope rail, and we also have iron sights. If you want to look through your iron sights as well, it's very easy to do. This particular one has a dot scope. Let me show you how easy it is to assemble. Just put the barrel in place. You can't really do it wrong. It's got a little detent here, a little groove cut in the threads. Put the barrel retaining nut on top and mash the spring-loaded locking device for the barrel retaining nut. Now then, we will put the wire stock in place from the rear, just like so. And remember, the stock, due to a spring-loaded plunger here, is adjustable. You can move it. You can change the length of the stock adjustment by over an inch there. A very, very neat system. Of course, we've got install our magazine here, just like so. And we'll pull out the bolt here. And guess what? It's ready to shoot. Push our safety off, and I'll tell you what, friends. These are so that we'll go ahead and lock it back. We had 5 rounds in the magazine. You know, there are some guns that have a, I don't know if there's a word like this or not, likability, or guns that are so likable. Realize the little feathers only weigh 3 pounds. This is one of the slickest combinations I have yet to see. A true takedown, carried around in the locking soft case there. Just a great idea. Let's take a closer look. Here's that barrel retaining nut I was talking about, of course, a little slim barrel. This is your barrel nut locking device here. It has an excellent set of open sights, and yes, we've got our dot scope on. See it there? But you can also look underneath the scope. These are options they have for it. The top here, the receiver, is a very expensive aircraft grade aluminum. Of course, the bolt and all is steel. This is your charging handle, and to have the bolt back, all you have to do is just push the handle through. Come back here and push it in, and you can lock the bolt open for cleaning. Here, of course, is the magazine well, a very easy to release magazine catch here. This is the safety. Just push it from fire to safe, just a flick of the finger. Very durable. Of course, here is the device by which you can adjust the stock. Just move this over and you can adjust the stock, or in fact take it out. A terrific idea, terrific system. Let's go ahead and load our little feather carbine here we put together. Go ahead, put it in place and pull out on the bolt and let it go. And let's go ahead, we've turned our dot scope off. Let's go ahead and use the iron sights here. And let's see if we can hit that disc. Push our safety off right there, remember. All right, let's use those iron sights. Look through the peephole there. And absolutely, we're hitting our disc. There it is. And apply our safety.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The supremacy of the sheriff as the chief law enforcement officer in a county is in decline. The biggest culprit is the federal government that has bestowed upon itself such police powers as it thinks it might need. The sheriff is what the founders intended. The sheriff is elected and thus accountable to the people. The Constitution prohibits federal police powers outside of counterfeiting, postal matters, piracy, and treason. Too many states have cooperated in the drift toward federalizing the county's police powers by vesting federal agents with those powers. In a report filed by former Sheriff Richard Mack, GOA's Director of Public Affairs, we learn of a welcome reversal of the federalization of police work. This happened in Bighorn County, Wyoming, under the tenure of Sheriff Dave Mattis. Before Sheriff Mattis was elected to office, the IRS, in conjunction with the Sheriff's Office, pulled a raid at the home of a Bighorn County couple. As they frequently do, the feds messed up, and that became clear as they finally realized they had no grounds to do a no-knock raid on the Castaneda family that had done nothing wrong. The Castanedas sued and won. To their great credit, they asked only for a nominal amount of cash for damages. What they really wanted was the good news I have to report. With, by then, Sheriff Mattis's full cooperation, the Castanedas got a policy mandated that greatly restores the supremacy of the local sheriff. The policy in Bighorn County for federal agents is to check with the sheriff before taking any action in Bighorn County. The sheriff of a county of 12,000 people has become the overseer of all federal agencies present in his county. Every one of the some 3,500 counties in America needs a sheriff first policy in force. When the federales show up in Bighorn County, they have to not only notify the sheriff, but follow some other guidelines as well. They must show that they have done the proper paperwork and establish that they have probable cause to be in the county at all. Think of the ramifications of this policy. Sammy and Vicki Weaver might have still been alive had there been a sheriff first policy in Boundary County, Idaho. Ditto for some 86 Davidians in Waco, Texas. What if the sheriff rubber stamps the missteps of the feds? The sheriff might well be held accountable by the voters of his county for waving the federal Leviathan into his county without exercising due diligence to keep the feds under control. 3 cheers for Sheriff Dave Mattis of Bighorn County, Wyoming. May his numbers multiply exponentially. From Washington, this is Larry Pratt for Gun Owners of America.
For more information on Gun Owners of America, and please remember they are helping to support our project, you can call them at 888-886-GUNS, 888-886-4867. And please remember to tell them that you saw it here on our show.
Now then, friends, to take it down, we'll take the magazine out first. You know me, we're going to check it 1, 2, 3 times and put our bolt in the rearward position here. And we'll go ahead and we'll take off our stock to take it down for cleaning. I'm going to just show you just what a terrific system this is. Go ahead and take our barrel off here. Take it out of the gun. All right, now then, to take it down for cleaning, let the bolt go forward all the way and just unscrew the back. Just like, and of course it has a spring. You need to be careful and need to be paying attention to what you're doing, of course. Now then, you take out the back. Here's the rod there that goes in the little spring. We'll pull our bolt all the way to the rear and take out the bolt piece there. And we take the bolt out of the rear of the little gun, and now we can completely clean it. Now, Feather does not recommend taking off the trigger group. If you have to come to something like that, you need to call them, but I can't think of any reason why we'd want to take off our trigger group. And of course, to put it back together, you just reverse the procedure here. Well, we've reassembled it. Let's go ahead and put our magazine in, just like so. Let it go, and let's see it in action. Isn't that just the neatest thing? Friends, the little Feather guns are extremely accurate. Again, very lightweight, only 3 pounds before you add any accessories. just amazingly simple devices. We were doing some shooting at 25 yards, and we got several groups of one hole. In fact, several groups there of under ½ inch or under 1/2 inch at 25 yards. And they're just amazing performers. This is something that is exciting because their Feather USA is owned by a very strong company now. We look for a lot of great things. Remember, these folks are working on a 460 Rowlands version of this, much bigger gun. We shot it on last week's program. But still, this is something that I know a lot of you are going to be interested in. The fun quotient, as far as I'm concerned, I've never seen anything that would equal that fun quotient that this little Feather carbine has. A lot of you are going to be interested in getting one of these, certainly calling for information.
And you can call Feather USA at 1-800-519-0485. Again, 1-800-519-0485 for information on these great Feather guns.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
Friends, you can call Choate Machine Tool 1-800-972-6390. Remember, you get your choice of the executive ice scraper or the executive letter opener for only $2. By themselves, it's a $5 value. When you call for a free catalog, you can get your choice of the executive ice scraper or the executive letter opener here. Multi-purpose tools, as we've showed before. You can get both of them for $4, a $10 value, when you call Choate Machining Tool 1-800-972-6390. And please remember, you have to tell them that you saw it on our show here. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to show you another variation of the great 1911. This one is from Springfield Armory, and you'll notice this is what they call their loaded model. It has the extended grip safety to give a better purchase of the web of your hand on applying the grip safety. And we know this gun is empty 3 times. And yes, we've installed our 460 kit on this Springfield. This is one of the guns we recommend. This is I believe this is called the loaded model. It has a lot of very nice features. One is similar to our Kimber, and a lot of custom guns, they have started putting these serrations on the front of the slide to make it easier for a lot of folks to load, easier to check. You have an extended thumb safety here, a ring type hammer, a set of sights very reminiscent of the Novak type set of sights. And like I said, we've just converted it. These are excellent guns. They're made in Brazil. Springfield Armory, of course, took the name of the original Springfield Armory in Springfield, Massachusetts. And of course, it'll tell you right here on the frame they are made in Brazil, but nothing wrong with that. These are very fine guns. And another feature I like about the Springfield, it has a proper sized firing pin hole. See if we can get around here and see it. It has the smaller firing pin hole, which is very desirable. When the 1911 was made in the early 1900s or designed, they used a larger firing pin. It's really not necessary, and for general applications, the smaller firing pin is more desirable. One of the options we have for our 460 pistol kits is we offer the option of a 38 Super firing pin put in the Kimber guns and in the Colts and others, but these Springfields start off right. Well, let's go ahead. Let's shoot it. We haven't shot it yet. We just installed the kit. Check my hearing protection, and let's see how this new Springfield is going to do with our full charge 460. We got see if we can hit our target out here. Yes, indeed. Flyer safety. I tell you what, friends, it looks like the Springfield here is a winner.
And we want to remind you that a broadcast copy of our shooting shows are archived at Jim's House of Videos, area 318-869-0439, or at www.jimshouseofvideos on the internet. And we also want to remind everyone you can purchase a demo tape of our 460 Rowland or the MechTech demo tape also from Jim's House of Videos. And now for our support group, we have custom leather work and saddlery in Denham Springs, Louisiana, all kinds of leather work. Their number is area 225-667-9225. And for your communications needs in the Albuquerque, New Mexico area, you can call Brooks Communication, area 505-888-2929. For our GRA shooting scenarios, rules, and information, you can call Dennis Crocker, who is also a firearms trainer there in South Carolina. You can call him area 864-587-8722. To have your gun stock painted, you can call Camouflage Technologies, area 909-674-6488. And for heavy equipment rentals in Southern California, you can call Gearlings Equipment Rentals at area 909-354-6476. And we'll wind up today's program by going back to the range in Colorado for a little more shooting.